Welcome to the city of West Miami. Today is February the 7th, 2018. This is our city commission, this is our charter review board meeting. For once again, February the 7th, 2018. At
6:22.
22. Before we start, I understand, Mr. Villalobos, you have kind of a time schedule, so you direct how long we stay here.
No, I'll just go ahead and finish what I have here.
Okay, all right. So let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Roll call, Mayor Eduardo Mujina,
Present.
Vice Mayor Candida Blanca.
Yes.
Commissioner Juan Blanes.
Present.
Commissioner Rhonda Rodriguez.
Present.
Commissioner Luciano Suarez.
Yes.
Member Joe Paz.
Present.
Member Natalie Milian. Member Ralph Orel.
Present.
Member Antonia Chavez. And alternate member Eric Diaz-Padrón, who will be sworn in as a member today. You have a quorum, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. So are we doing the swearing in before we go to the next item?
We have the approval of minutes, and I think you can proceed with the original order of the agenda because we have it after your opening
Okay,
remarks.
perfect. Okay, so next item, item 3.
Citizen presentations. No presentations, Mr. Mayor.
Next item, item 4.
Item 4, approval of minutes of November 15, 2018, Charter Review Board meeting.
Motion.
Okay, I need a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
¿Qué pasó? No.
Hay aquí y se oye acá. Ah, bueno. No hay problema.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got distracted with the microphone thing, you know. So, senior moment. Next item,
Old business? None this evening, Mr. Mayor.
item 6.
Item 6, under no business agenda items, please.
Items.
Yes, okay. That'll be corrected.
You were jet lagged.
Yes, probably. Item 6A, opening remarks by Mayor Eduardo Mujina.
My opening remarks is just follow the city attorney's cue on this tonight, actually. Okay? Next item.
Next item, swearing in of Eric Diaz-Padrón as member of the Charter Review Board because he's an alternate. Now he'll be a member. So we're gonna administer the oath. Mr. Diaz-Padrón, raise your hand. I, Eric Diaz-Padrón, solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution
That I will support the Constitution
and will obey the laws of the United States of America
and will obey the laws of the United States of America
and of the state of Florida,
and of the state of Florida,
that I will in all respects
that I will in all respects
observe the provisions of the Charter
observe the provisions of the Charter
and the ordinance of the city of West Miami,
and the ordinances of the city of West Miami,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of the Charter Review Board member
the duties of the office of the Charter Review Member
of the city of West Miami.
of the city of West Miami.
Congratulations, Mr. Diaz-Padrón. You're sworn in. Let's sign the oath. I'm gonna give you an original, and you're gonna have an original. We can do it here.
Does that mean we could close the rest of the week and next week?
Why not?
Executive order. Quiet.
Actually, I have to put the
Villalobos tiene que
seal.
firmar.
Yes, Mr. Villalobos has to sign, so I have to put the seal, Eric. I'll give it to you.
Dásela ahora,
Yes.
dásela ahora.
Thank you. So Mr. Diaz-Padrón sworn in as a member of the Charter Review Board.
Dale uno a él, ¿no?
Le tengo que poner el sello.
Ah, no, vaya.
Si yo se lo devuelvo después. Dos.
Okay, next item, item C.
Item C, schedule of Charter Review Board meetings, like if we're gonna have another meeting, what date is proposed?
We have qualifications, et cetera, so I think we should postpone the meeting till, any suggestions? When is the next commission meeting?
The February 21st, and then March 7th. It's the middle of qualifying.
What's the protocol? I just want to make sure, that the only reason I said that is, do we need to follow any protocol, Mr. Attorney?
There's no protocol,
Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
I have a suggestion, Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Okay, go ahead.
If there were to be an election, it's going to be a very busy time for our city clerk, who's the supervisor of election. In any event, whether there's an election or not, we have to go through the process by charter of the induction ceremony for the new mayor and city commission members. And that happens April
16.
16th. Now, we can try to meet before, if that is the will of the board. I'm just giving you these dates as a suggestion, or we can pick up the conversation based on whatever leeway you make today, pick up the conversation again and meet and convene after the election cycle and after the new commission is sworn in. Mr. Villalobos, I think I will yield to you in terms of timing at this point, and to the city clerk, because obviously you have the timing schedules.
It's up to the board. I think this should be treated at the commission meeting, not here.
You decide if you want to do it after elections. Our first meeting after
Oh,
the swearing in will be on April
You mean
18th.
the schedule for this meeting?
Yes, sir.
Oh, no. That will be up to, it's proper to hear it now.
Yeah. Okay, how about you, in terms of your schedule and the work that?
Election time is kind of busy because of publications and schedules. I have to go to the elections department for a procedure as part of the canvassing board. But if you decide to meet at any time, it's okay with me. I can work with
Okay.
my schedule, so you decide. I can make it work.
What's your
out there
opinion?
for
What do you guys,
Question, we're still looking at November ballot for, if we
Okay,
have any
yes,
changes,
yes.
right? So, if our delaying it until after
It would
election
hinder us?
have any, negative impact on getting it on the November ballot?
No.
We still have time?
We'll still have time.
And when was the next commission meeting?
After
After
elections and
election.
everything, April 18th.
So,
So you have
April
2
18th.
months, pretty much, to make some real meaningful progress with the charter, correct, after the election?
Yes, because we have to submit it to the elections department by June, by beginning of June, so,
And we have to allow
That
at
only
least a
gives us
month
1
for
month.
the city attorney to prepare the
yes.
questions.
Yes, and whatever this board
And the
decides.
public hearing before the city commission as well. Anything that you all agree to here, or any proposed changes, has to be approved by the governing board, so.
So in May, I think, if we meet in April, by May, we should bring it to the commission if this board decides to bring
Right.
amendments to the charter, and we'll be on time.
Unless they want to continue now, which is
Of
the
course,
option.
of course.
When's the next commission meeting prior to the election?
Prior
I
to
mean, in the month of
elections,
March.
we'll have April 4th,
The Wednesday before the election.
Wednesday before election. Elections are on the 10th, so April 4th.
Welcome to the
is
city of West
the commission
Miami.
meeting, the first meeting of April.
And like I said, I only brought it for conversation, because basically your office, that's the reason I brought it, because I know you're gonna be busy. But, if we all agree to continue, we continue. I just
just don't want to be under the gun.
No,
You know,
you're right,
so-
you're right.
So, I mean, and I understand that the schedules are a little busy, but instead then of maybe doing two in May, in March, I'm sorry, maybe we could just do one in March?
We have March 7 and March 21st. It's fine because the elections department have not scheduled any meeting with me at 6 o'clock on any day, so.
We say
I would say
March
it's like
7th.
Okay, so let's-
21st, either one.
Yeah, I mean, either one can be.
I think we should get one meeting in,
March.
to not get, yeah.
Okay,
I'll fall behind.
so in other words, skip this month, but then pick it up on the next, in March. Okay?
How about the March 21st meeting, on the March 21st?
That's fine. I mean, very, very.
Yeah.
Okay,
21st March is okay for me.
okay.
Okay,
She
we
cannot
have
make it.
one member.
The alternate's on the board now. He'll be here.
Okay.
Who's your?
He was-
Tony
Oh,
will be
there
out
you
of
go.
town. Mr. Mayor,
Okay.
you decide. March 21st,
Okay,
it is. Okay.
all right, next item.
Item 60, revisit issues discussed at the Charter Review Board meeting of November 15th, 2017.
Mr. Attorney?
May I proceed, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Okay. We are just about the end of the road. I'd like for you to, I'm sort of pressed for time, I have to catch a plane, but anyway, I'd like for you to turn out to section 4.04, powers and duty of the city manager,
Does everybody has charters?
page 14.
No, they are. ¿Dónde está el page 14?
Vice Mayor, do you have charter?
¿Dónde
No?
está? No.
Here, el charter. Charters, anybody? Commissioner?
It's page 14 is here.
Oh, okay, so.
Are we all ready?
Yes.
What
Okay.
section? I'm sorry.
Go to subparagraph parent J,
What section?
as in Jose. 4.04 parent J.
No,
No,
I don't have
Page
that
14.
Can you
section.
refer again to the section? What section specifically?
Section 4.04,
4.04.
City manager.
powers and duty of the city manager.
I got it. Page 10,
Page 10.
page
The
10,
city
Our
manager
charter.
shall, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
page 10, page
Got
10.
it.
Okay.
Go to J, please.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
There have been a lot of discussions about whether or not it would be up to the mayor to sign for deeds. So that was brought out on the first meeting on August 16th. And there was several discussions whether or not the mayor should sign for deeds. And if you read section J, subsection J, under the city manager, it reads, perform such other duties as are specified in the charter or may be required by the council. Or may be required by the council. Those are the key words in order to change the duties of the manager, not to change, but to clarify the duties of the manager to sign deeds. The manager is authorized to sign contracts. So therefore, if you read parent J, perform other duties or may be required by the council may, by ordinance, instruct the manager to execute deeds. So if you go out to an ordinance that was prepared by me and distributed by the city clerk, this an ordinance of the mayor and the city commission of the city of West Miami. Do you have that? You have it? Everybody?
Yes.
Okay. If you go to the first whereas Article 3, Section 3.01 legislative section of the city of West Miami, define the city commission of 5 members,
No.
That's not what we have.
Where,
an ordinance
I don't have.
Yeah. right
that
here.
was
You have a
distributed by the,
resolution and you have an ordinance
Keep 'em going.
in the back. It's part of the
Right
packet.
behind the resolution.
One more page.
You have the packet, Commissioner? Let me give you one. Wait. This is not the one.
Here.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Is this it?
the ordinance, yes.
I only have the agenda.
Yes, you can use mine.
everybody has it? Hello?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Go to the first whereas. Article 3, Section 3.01 defines that the city of West Miami has a 5-member commission meeting headed by the mayor. The second whereas, Article 3, Section 3.01 defines the city of West Miami commission powers and composition as having legislative powers. In other words, the city commission legislates and does not administrate. If you go to whereas number 3, Article 4, administrative section of the City of West Miami Charter states that Section 4.01, that there shall be a city manager being the chief officer, administrative officer of the city. If you go to the next whereas, it says the City of West Miami has a commission, city manager, form of government. If you go to the next whereas, it says Article 4, Section 4.04 establishes the power of the city manager. Whereas Article 4, next one over, authorizes the city manager to sign contracts. In other words, she can sign contract pursuant to the charter. The following, Article 4, Section 4.04J, empowers the city manager to perform such duty as specified in the charter or may be required by the commission. In other words, the commission may, by ordinance, instruct the manager to execute deeds. So this ordinance that will be presented by the city commission and discussed by the city commission will cure and explain that the powers of the manager includes the execution of deeds. Everybody with me?
Yes.
Okay. So that is, as far as that is concerned, it would empower, once it passed, once you present it out to the commission, and once it's approved, will empower, will clarify, not empower, clarify the charter in that the city manager, as an administrator, not only can execute contracts, but can also execute deeds. Everybody understand that?
Yes.
So, by thinking outside of the box and by explaining, further explaining the legislative intent, the city manager, once this is approved, will be empowered to sign and execute deeds. Okay? Everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, that's the way that part of the charter is clarified. Now, we need to clarify the other part of the charter that states that the mayor is the one that executes deeds. The current charter reads that the mayor will execute deeds. On 8/16, there was an amendment that was proposed by the mayor not to sign contracts, and the draft of the proposed language of the charter amendment. You all received it, and it reads as follows. The mayor shall preside the meetings of the council and be recognized as the head of the city government for all ceremonial purposes by the governor, for purposes of military law, service of process. Now, in service of process, we already explained that this is state statute and we cannot change it, okay? And as the city official designated to represent the city in all agreements with other municipal governmental agencies, but shall have no administrative duties reserved for the city manager except as required to carry out the responsibilities herein. In other words, you all already approved on the 8/16 and then again on October 4 that the mayor will not sign deeds by this proposed language that will be submitted to the election. In other words, the first ordinance will go to the commission. The second part to resolve this issue will go to the election. Okay? Everybody with me?
Yes.
Okay. This was already approved, discussed on 8/16, and approved on 8/4. I'm sorry, 10/4, October 4. We have been going back and forth with these issues.
Forever.
So let me read you what happened. The first amendment, it was moved by Suarez, Blanca second, and there was a statement, the City of West Miami manager, form of government. This goes with the second amendment. Now, this was discussed by you on 8/16. Now, on 10/4, it was again discussed the issue of the manager, of the mayor. So this language that I just read you was already approved by you. Okay? So the other issue that was left at hand was the portion where the language on Article 8, one of the things that stated on the paragraph 8.07, elected office of the mayor abolished. So of course, that's either that's an error or it had to just go away. Now, this went out to the citizens 4 years ago and it was turned down. I think that it was for lack of information. So we cure this. Go out to a resolution that I also prepared for your consideration tonight. Everybody would have the resolution?
First one is the resolution.
Estamos en 807.
You have the resolution?
The resolution is the first one on your packet, it's inclusive in your packet.
The one that doesn't have a number. Yeah.
Aquí, mira. You have the minutes and then the resolution and then the ordinance as far as
Now,
your
have the
packet.
resolution in one hand, please. And on the other hand, go to
Yeah.
section 8.06 of the charter.
Right here.
Got it.
Page 18.
Everybody has it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Page 18.
Charter.
8.06 reads, deletion of obsolete scheduled items. The council shall have the power by resolution to delete from this article, it says 7, it should read 8, that's a scription error, section, including this one, when all events to which this section to be deleted is or who would or could become applicable have occurred. In other words, this gives the commission, the charter gives the commission the power by resolution to abolish those certain items that are obsolete. Okay? Everybody with me? Okay.
Need a response. Okay, send it.
Since the charter has given the commission the power to abolish those items that are obsolete, if you go now to the resolution, the city commission shall by resolution abolish those sections that are obsolete. So it does not have to go to the ballot. Everybody with me?
Yes.
And it reads,
And finally, hopefully, we'll get something done.
Yeah.
Something
yeah,
will
but
get
it
to
took
the
a lot
ballot.
of,
Brain power.
a resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami as authorized by Article 8, Section 8.6. So what the commission is going to do by a resolution is already authorized by Section 8.6 of the charter. Okay? Delete as absolute schedule item Section 8.05, Section 8.07, and Section 8.8 of the present charter, correcting inscription error, providing for city attorney to renumber and reletter, relocate articles, blah, 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 blah. And then we say, go to the first whereas. Article 8 refers to 1949, more than 50 years ago. Second whereas, those transition schedule had the intent to provide a fluid transition from one charter to the other. Okay? Whereas sections of Article 8 make reference to the first election of 1980. Specifically, Section 8.5, 8.7, 8.08 are no longer applicable and are inoperable and obsolete. And where Section 8 have been amended by subsequent referendums, whereas Section 8.06 authorizes the City Commission to delete by resolution sections that make reference to events which have already occurred. Now go to the now theretofore, be it resolved. Therefore, whereas are incorporated and ratified. Section 8.5. Now go to the charter so you can see what 8.5 reads. First election. That was more than 50 years ago. So that's inoperable. So that's going out with this resolution. Everybody approve this?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, will you take vote, please?
All in favor, say aye.
We need
Okay.
a motion and a second.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
For
Yeah.
the resolution.
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Commissioner Suarez.
Motion by, I have Commissioner
Member
Rodriguez.
Paz.
Second by,
Okay, so take a vote
and are all in favor? Just, we need a
Okay.
motion and a second, please.
all in favor,
8.0.
Say aye.
Aye.
8.07.
Nobody opposed.
Elective of office of mayor abolished. Of course, that's obsolete and inoperable because we have been operating with the mayor since the beginning of time. Okay? So by resolution, you have the authority pursuant to Section 8.6 to delete Section 8.07. You understand? Okay. Now, Mr. Mayor, submit it to a vote, please.
Okay, I need a motion.
Motion,
Second.
to delete section 8.07.
So who motion and who
I
second?
motion.
Second.
Okay.
Commissioner Suarez, second.
Yes. Motion by Commissioner Rodriguez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And section 8.08. Would you go to section 8.08, please? This charter shall take effect on April 14, 1980. That's long past, guys. Okay? So this is inoperable. So this is going out also by resolution authorized by 8.6. Everybody with me?
Yes.
Second. Motion.
Second.
You make a second motion.
Motion Suarez, second
We got a
Rodriguez.
second, and then we got a motion.
No, in reverse.
The motion first.
Motion, second.
But I don't understand. Are all those changes proposed part of the resolution that is being,
Yes.
so once
we have
the
to-
resolution is approved, all the changes recommended are approved?
Yes.
Why did, we're taking vote for every section?
The reason I want to vote for every section is that I want to be sure that everybody understands what I'm talking about,
Okay.
okay? In
Duly
other words,
noted.
I am asking the specific question. We are by resolution authorized by 8.06 to delete those that are inoperable. So the commission are deleting sections pursuant to the resolution 05, 08, 05, 07, and 08. And again, Madam Clerk, the reason that I'm voting on each specific item is that I want to be sure that the board understands what I'm talking about.
Okay, we didn't vote on the last item. So we had a motion, we had a second, but all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. All in favor.
Okay? Now,
So where are we now?
what we have done now is by ordinance, authorize the city manager, by ordinance, authorize the city manager to execute deeds. That's number one that we passed today. Okay? On this board. This will go out to the commission. The commission has to publish that as an ordinance, okay? And approve it. Once the commission approves it, the manager is authorized to sign for deeds. Now, that leaves still the mayor with a mandate with the existing charter that execute the deeds. So that has to go to the electorate, okay? Eliminating the wording execution of deeds. In other words, what we have done today is approved, I'm sorry, not today, but already passed, approved the language amending 3.08 by the language that you already approved back in October 4. Everybody with me? Yes.
On the ordinance, we did not vote on the approval of the ordinance. I don't have a motion, I don't have a second, I don't have vote
Okay.
here written. It was discussed, but we didn't have
Well,
we
the
didn't
mayor,
take a vote.
the chair may call the question
So
again.
we need a motion, Madam
And
Clerk?
second for the ordinance. The ordinance was the one that was first discussed.
I make a motion to approve the ordinance.
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you,
Motion passes.
thank you.
Now, what we have up to today, is the ordinance that will go to the city commission. Number two, that will not go to the electorate. Number two, the charter amendment of 3.08, deleting that portion of the language that forces the mayor to execute deeds. That will go to the electorate. If the electorate passes, then the mayor does not have to execute deeds anymore. If the electorate does not pass, then the mayor is stuck also with having to execute deeds. So you will have two heads that can execute deeds. Number one, the mayor, and number two, the city manager. Capish?
Yes.
Now, the other one that was approved on September 20th and then rediscussed on October 18th is section 3.04, first paragraph.
Page 4.
Yes.
Section 3.04.
Compensation and expenses.
The way that it was already approved reads as follows. The commission may, at a regularly called meeting and by 4/5 affirmative vote, approve, and then there was a friendly amendment by Commissioner Rodriguez to read all. You have that?
Yes.
Okay? Commissioner Rodriguez, you suggested the word all, okay? The commissioner may at regular call meeting and by 4/5 of the vote approve all additional expenses for commission members to travel and for per diem expenses which are for the direct benefit of the city business, for attendance of educational seminars and convention. And there was a comma and it said lobbying, and it was proposed by you all to substitute lobbying for the word advocating. Okay? And dinners at the legal cities and other similar events. Expenses per diem shall be limited as provided by Florida statutes. That you already approved with the language, number one, the word all, and number two, the substitution lobbying for advocating. Now, since this was not approved before, the language was approved except that there was two I was instructed to correct two items, all and lobbying, okay? So now you, Mr. Mayor, should call to a vote approving this language as we have it right now.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the language, the proposed language on this item.
Motion.
I need a second?
Second.
Everybody with me?
Yes.
Everybody understood? No questions? Okay. Now,
Wait, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
since we already read the resolution, my duties are to advise you that we have, with all of this that we have done, addressed 5 different so-called amendments, okay? That, the other one being the last one that we have approved. So as far as I am concerned, you all have completed your duties in revising the entire charter of the city of West Miami.
So, what's gonna happen now?
Wait, okay. So we don't need to schedule any more meetings, is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is this.
March 24th.
What I'm saying is this.
We ready for November?
What I'm saying is this. There's only 2 questions that will go to the ballot. 2. Number 1, the one with the mayor, and number 2, the one with the compensation. Okay?
Okay. So we really are done with the charter.
You have already done with the charter. Now, what needs to be done, I have to prepare a resolution incorporating all of this into one resolution that will be brought to you for your knowledge, so you can approve it and then go out to the commission, so the commission can approve your approval.
So I guess the real question is, we voted, we had said May 21st, right?
You need one
No,
more,
March
and that's it.
20.
I'm sorry, March 21st. Does that give you sufficient time to do what you have to do so that it can come before
Yes.
us that date?
Yes,
So that will be our last meeting then?
that will be your last meeting.
As a charter
Yes,
review.
Yes, yes.
Now, let me tell you,
Exactly.
Right, unless there's another concern.
I want all members, yes, sir.
Okay. The commissioners sitting on this board are gonna approve something, and then that something is going to be taken to the commission where we also sit?
Yes, sir.
And then we're gonna approve something that we approved previously?
You are not sitting here as a commissioner, you're sitting here as a charter review member.
So there is a difference.
There's a difference. Now, you will send it out to the commission, I'm talking pursuant to the charter now, okay? You will send it out to the commission, and now, sitting as commissioner, you will approve the language that the board approved. But there's only 2 charter amendments that will go out to the electorate. Now, what I recommend to everybody is this: please review the charter in its totality again and see whether we have missed, or I have missed, or you have missed something. Okay? Yes.
Mr. Villalobos, along those lines and those recommendations, would it be prudent to ask members of the charter review to submit some questions to you as they review the charter in its final stages, if they have anything else that they wish to bring up, because there will be a period of time where we're not gonna meet, and people have a tendency of forgetting. Would it not be a good idea to have them submitted to you through the clerk or to both?
The proper avenue with the clerk.
The clerk.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, the clerk and with copies, and she'll
If you
distribute
have any
those.
question, you have to put it on the clerk, and the clerk will ask me, and I will answer.
That way, on March 21st, Mr. Villalobos can be prepared to address any of those questions that may come up. Because there's gonna be a gap in between meetings.
Do you agree, Mr. Pedron?
Total agreement.
Okay.
Okay?
Now-
Anything else?
Okay, good night.
You have instructed me to do something which is really, which is interpreting the meaning or wording that took effect 50 years ago. And this is what we have done tonight, by 2 methodologies. Number 1, as I say, thinking outside of the box. Number 1, by approving a resolution pursuant to the charter, not because you wanted it or because I suggested it, but it's authorized by the charter. And number 2, an ordinance, which is also authorized by the charter, approving the manager as a person to sign for deeds. Okay?
Okay.
Good job.
That took a lot of doing.
Easier said than done. Okay,
Great job, Mr. Attorney. Great.
Great.
Order,
Thank you very much.
motion to adjourn.
go to the order. Okay. Need a motion to adjourn? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Good night.
7:00.